Dagmar again, and this is part 2 of the video about bad power. So in the last video, in part 1, we stopped at the special capacity of bad of orientating itself by ultrasound and echolocation. And now we continue at its special ability of their ears. So they have got very sensitive ears. They can hear even the fluttering of a moth, or they can even hear the crawling of an earwig on the earth. So this is ultra-sensitive auditive perception. And if you have got bad power, you've got this ultra-sensitive perception about sounds and tones and frequencies too. So, in the beginning, this might be frightening for you. And bad tells you you're psychic, but you're not psychotic. So what is the difference? If you are psychotic, you could be psychotic if you hear voices and tones and sounds that are not here, where there is no outer cause that you hear it. But if this was the case, then you would have some other symptoms that would indicate that you need medical help, which would be, for example, that you can't use your mother language anymore in the correct way, that you are at a loss of words, or that you can't make complete sentences anymore, or that you start questioning the meaning of things in a way that confuses you very deeply, or that you think others can hear your thoughts, or that you don't know the difference anymore between you and the outside. So there are different symptoms that would indicate a medical condition. But if you've got bad power, this is just about your special gift, because you've got the gift of clairaudience. And this is explainable in a medical way also, because people who can actually hear things that are not from audible sources, it can be okay anyway, because the brain, or the region where the auditory input is processed, can reach its information on two ways. One is the normal way, by perception, what you hear, a sound you hear with your ears, and then it goes to the brain and gets processed there. And the other way is that your brain, the auditive region of your brain, can also process input from other senses, because there is a way that other senses, perceptions from other senses, reach the auditory brain. So it is actually possible that you hear things that are not caused by an audible source. Okay, and your special ability with bad power is indeed to hear things nobody else can hear. Okay, the other thing bad helps you is bats are very strongly connected to the Earth's magnetic field. They can orientate themselves in relation to the magnetic field of the Earth. So if you've got bad power, you can do that too. You can find your way, you can find your direction by sensing the Earth's magnetic field, which helps you also to orientate yourself in dark circumstances. Then the next strong symbolism bad is telling you about is that they sleep in caves and they come only out in the night. They don't fly normally at daytime, which tells you retreat from all the noise outside. Go inside your own little cave, your home, your room, and just don't care about things that are outside, and feel and sense and hear your inner perceptions and recreate in these circumstances. Find your inner truth, find your inner wisdom by just paying attention to these inner perceptions. And also it tells you about self-protection, because when bats sleep, they wrap themselves like that in their own wings. So they sleep in this wrapped position with their wings, and they protect themselves like if they were wearing a coat, and so that nothing can harm them when they sleep. And you can do the same thing if you have got bad power. Just wrap yourself into your own energy, and nobody outside and nothing from outside can harm you. Okay, next thing, it speaks about cleansing. Most bats feed on insects, so they can clean your space from all pestering energies, mosquitoes, energy drowning things. And you can just clean your space from all these dark things with bad energy. Okay, next thing, a very strong symbolism is the upside down position of bats while they are roosting, while they are hanging down with head down first, and this is the sleep position. So it tells you that even if you might feel like you are hanging upside down right now, it is okay, and it will help you to just become somebody new and to get out of that with a new kind of vision and views. Okay, then what else? Yeah, with the power of bat, you will realize and understand all the upside down symbolism we are confronted with nowadays, used by people with sinister minds. So the upside down symbolism is a classical satanic symbol. So, for example, the upside down cross. Then, for example, reversing letters in advertisements. So the word, you have a word and some letters are reversed. You see it the other way around. So this is a satanic mechanism they use nowadays. Or what we are confronted with very strongly is there are all those paradox messages. We are flooded by paradox messages. You see them everywhere, in movies, in videos, on book covers, you name it. You find it everywhere. And what the bad thing about it is that they are telling you something, and you see something that has got a special meaning, a special symbolism by tradition. And they are telling you something different about it. They are telling you, okay, no, this doesn't mean this, it means that. So this doesn't mean what you know from tradition, it means something else. So this is a problem nowadays, that they confuse people with this. So, and what they especially do is confusing young people who are still in the process of developing their personality. They confuse them completely, because they learn, okay, what people tell me and what it means is something different. What I see and what it means is something different. So this is really bad. and it tricks people into acting and sensing in a very confused way. And it's basically satanic, because they want to establish a satanic society. And bad helps you to realize it and to just avoid all these things, because bads don't collide. They know what comes their way and they just get out of its way. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to fight anybody of these dark and sinister persons. You just avoid them, and you just avoid these situations, and you put out your echolocation and you see, okay, I don't go there because there are bad energies. So this is helping you just to have a good life and a clear life without these interferences. Okay, next thing. Yeah, bad is helping you when you are in a upside down birth position. Upside down is how we enter this earth plane when we are being born. After 9 months of developing in our mother's womb. And this is what bad tells you. Go into your womb. Go into your room, into your house, into your own place, and just let life be outside. All the noises and things, let them be outside. And you are in your room and you use your time to develop your abilities, your skills, your life. And then you go into the birth position, and then you get born. You are being born, and you are like a newborn child, completely new, and like a white paper. So this is what a bad energy tells you about. You, in some way, you should become like a white paper again. People say when we are born, our mind is like a white sheet with nothing on it, which isn't quite true, basically, because there are memories in our genes and memories in our energy field from the past, from the ancestors, from past lives. So we are not completely a white sheet when we are born, but a symbolic meaning. And of course, our mind is learning and is getting to know things, and then our mind is filled with things. So in some way it is right to say, okay, become a white sheet of paper again. Drop everything you thought you knew, and do just be so open as if you were a child who has to learn again how things are. Okay, and so what this, it is symbolized by the shaman's death. Shaman's death means that especially shamans, before they were a shaman, they had to go through a ritual. They had also survived this ritual that made him a shaman. And in this ritual, they had to face very challenging, difficult, and dangerous circumstances that were meant to help them drop their old personality, drop everything they were, drop every perception, drop every concept of reality, and become like a white sheet, become new, and then enter new realms and act in new realms and understand the messages of new realms and know how to go there and come back and be different. And so this is the shaman's death. It tells you to drop your own personality and to enter a new realm of being and become somebody much wiser than before, much more powerful than before, and much gifted with different kinds of skills that go beyond the skills of normal beings. Okay. There is also a situation related to this shaman's death, but named differently in European traditions. In Christian traditions, there is, people talk about the so-called dark night of the soul. So the dark night of the soul, the state of being in this dark night of the soul, refers to the state of the shaman's death. It's just about the same thing. And it's also about dropping the ego, because on the way of their development, spiritual seekers come to a point where they have to drop the ego to go further. They have gone quite some way, and they have accomplished many things and many understandings, but now it's time to drop the ego, to drop the concepts, to drop our rules. And this is the state when they can get into the dark night of the soul, and which is by itself very frightening. Because dropping everything you thought to be real, dropping everything you thought was right, and losing every body on the outside or every situation on the outside that kept you safe, is frightening and very challenging in itself. So that is telling you that when you are in such a state right now, you will come out of it. You will survive. You will get out of this dark tunnel you are in, and you will come out with new views of the world. So what could it be that haunts you right now if you are in such a state? Okay, some of the emotions you might feel are, for example, that you feel like you're being sucked up or sucked in complete darkness. You question if you have got the ability to ever see the light again, because you are so depressed, you are so down, you are so disturbed right now, that you think, okay, this is the end, I can't go any further. But that tells you can. This is just a transitory state. You will go out of it again, and you will find your way out, and will be happy and good again. So this is the one thing. Or you could be confronted with emotions and situations you thought you had overcome, or you have been trying to overcome for so many years, and now they seem even worse. They seem so bad that you just can't see any way out. And you are so depressed because you're fighting with that, and even in a stronger way than ever before. And you are so depressed and think, okay, I just can't make it. But that tells you, yes, you can. Okay, next thing. Then what else is it? Yeah, you might try desperately to change things, but everything around you collapses. You lose your job, you lose your husband or your wife, you lose your children, you lose everything. Nothing stays the way it has been. And although you try desperately to fix things, nothing works. Because in this bad state of shaman's death or dark night of the soul, the only solution is letting go. You have to let go. There is no way to keep it. There is no way to get somebody back. There is no way to fix the things that collapsed, because this is a time where you have to let all go. And that tells you, yes, you can. Even if you think, oh my God, how shall I make it? I have no idea. This is the end. That tells you it isn't. And it tells you, okay, you are protected. You are protected in the dark, and you have, the solution is that you will have to find your inner perception, your inner light. Like bat can fly in complete darkness and doesn't collide with anything or anybody, you can find your way in complete darkness. Even in the darkest night, you find your way, because you have bat at your side at this time. And this is a time of death and rebirth, but you are going to make it. So I wish you all the best on your way. I wish you that you find this light in the darkness and that you find your way out. And thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this has been helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again with my next video on the power of the animals. Okay, bye.